Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AEW Double or Nothing review and star rating. We did it for King and Queen of the Ring yesterday, so today we're doing it for the AEW pay-per-view we had over the weekend. So, again, I'm not going to really touch the pre-show this time because I didn't really watch the pre-show. I was going to, and then I kind of lost track of time, and about 7:40 I went, oh no, AEW Double or Nothing starts soon. So it would be unfair for me to rank the pre-show and rate them, so I'm just not going to. With that being said, we start off on Double or Nothing with Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay. And what a match this was. I am a huge Will Ospreay fan. I think he's one of the greatest competitors in America as of right now. And he really did deliver. Roderick Strong, I kind of liked him. Never really got him character-wise or his personality. So when it comes to this match, I definitely believe that Ospreay had to carry a lot more than Roderick Strong did. Which makes sense because Ospreay is an elite level talent and he did win the match. He is the new champion. I gave the match a 3-star rating. Just because of the fact that they didn't really let the match shine as much as I feel like they could have. Don't get me wrong, it was a great match, but with it, Will Ospreay in that ring, and what we saw when Will Ospreay was competing in every other week in Dynasty, those matches, amazing. This match just didn't hit that same caliber that we know he is capable of. But at the end of the day, that's okay. It's wrestling. You're going to have great matches. You're not going to have great matches. This was a 3-star. It was a middle of the road match. Not that bad. Not that good. Could have been better. It is what it is. Moving on to our next match. We had the Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle. Now, for this match, I know I'm going to get some hate. I gave it a 1-star. Didn't really care about it. Bang Bang Gang, they're cool. I do love how Jay White is doing what he's doing. I think he's cool. And then the Death Triangle, I like Pac, but the match didn't hit for me. I don't know how to really say it. I watched it, and I was like, cool, next match, please. Thank you. It wasn't one that grabbed my attention and kept my attention. Again, I love Jay White. I love Pac. I think there's a lot of potential in those guys going forward against each other. Maybe just a one-on-one match. I'm not a big trios guy. But that's personal taste. But yeah, no, I gave it a 1-star. It didn't hit for me. Moving on from that, we had Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. This match, I gave 2.5. I love Toni. I think Toni's a great competitor. I love Mariah May. I think she's great on the side. I don't really know much about Serena. Hoping we can see her go more in the future. I think Toni Storm's character right now is amazing and the best part about her. And that can help her get great matches and stay on a higher caliber than we would normally see her at. But at the end of the day, there's only so much character work can do. And don't get me wrong, they're great competitors, but again, it just felt like the match was a little flat. I think we've seen Toni Storm so much do so many great things. And when we get Toni Storm versus Mariah May, it's going to be amazing. Like, that has potential to be a 5-star matchup with the story they're building. I'm a little torn on how this match went. I'm glad Toni won. She needs to keep winning. She needs to hold that belt until she drops it to Mariah. But yeah, it just wasn't a match that I thought it would be. But 2.5 isn't bad. It was almost a 3-star. I think had they done a little bit more with Serena and Toni, just kind of a few more spots maybe, it would have been a lot better. Next up, again, I was not a fan of the start of this pay-per-view. Let's just say that right now. Because next was Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. And I gave it a 1 star. That's because I don't care about this match. I watch Dynamite Weekly. I watch Collision. I watch every pay-per-view. I was never a big Orange Cassidy fan. Trent Beretta, I'm not that big of a fan of either. It's a personal preference, and at the end of the day, that's all star ratings are. But this match was just not one that I was entertained by. And by this time in the pay-per-view, we were already going pretty deep into time. And one thing we do know about AEW is their shows do tend to drag on because they're so long, because there's so many great matches, that I think I was just starting to really feel the time hitting me. And I was just a little bit like, ugh. It's a decent match, but it's dragging, and we still have all these other matches to go. I definitely feel like this match could have been better, though. But at the end of the day, again, it's a preference thing. I gave it 1 star. I'm sure people out there thought it was a 5 star, and that's completely fair to them. Everyone has their own preferences when it comes to wrestling, especially AEW, which is where the best wrestle. So, of course, we're all going to be thinking different things. Next, and I might have to defend myself on this one too, Jericho versus Hook versus Shibata. I love Hook. I like Shibata. I don't like Jericho. I don't like Big Bill. I know now the Bounty Hunter is now there too. I thought the Bounty Hunter was a good twist at the end, because when Big Bill got taken out, it felt like Jericho might actually lose, and I was so excited. And we were getting this build up, and I was like, okay, perfect. They're finally listening. We haven't liked Jericho for a while. We're chanting, please retire. That's not about his new gimmick. We just are tired of seeing him. He's not the best guy off screen. He's not the best guy on screen anymore. He kind of needs to give it up. And it seemed like AEW actually was listening and going to stop putting Jericho on our TV as much with the learning tree gimmick. We were wrong, and that swerve did get me happy and kind of made me take a step back and go, okay, I'm interested to see where this goes. But again, Jericho's work has been lackluster lately. Hook, amazing. Shibata, amazing. I hope they both go on to do great things. I think Jericho needs to retire soon. I gave it a 1.5 star match. I was going to give it 2 or 3, but just the Jericho winning, it got me. And it made me think, well, yeah, I know we're building to something, but we know in wrestling, if you don't like the ending, you don't like the match. And I didn't like the ending. Now, if Jericho would have lost, Shibata would have won, 3-star match. Hook would have won, 3-star match, easily. Just the ending, it's at a 1.5 star, and that doesn't mean it stays like that. If they can somehow turn this into a bigger storyline, and maybe down the road Jericho loses the belt because of something that happens with Big Bill or anything like that, then maybe this match is a little bit better and we look at it in a better light. But as of right now, I'm just not looking at it from the light of, wow, this match was incredible. I'm so happy I got to witness this at AEW Double or Nothing. Moving on from that, now we're part of the pay-per-view that I love and I feel like was a lot better. The opening was definitely long, dragged out, but once we started really getting into it and digging our heels in, it became amazing. And I'm talking Jon Moxley versus Takeshita. Now, amazing. I'm a huge Jon Moxley fan. I've seen him multiple times. I was at the first ever AEW house show when they were doing them, and it was in Troy, Ohio. And Mox came out, and being an Ohio boy myself, I was absolutely in love. Chanting the theme, seeing this Ohio man come out and be the hero to the masses. I gave this match a 3-star rating. Jon Moxley is amazing. Everything he does is incredible. And the match was not anything less than great. Now, I don't think it's warranting a better match star rating because when I rated it, I looked at it from every match compared to other matches. And there's some other matches that just outshine this match by a long shot. But you can't hate on this. Jon Moxley, like I said, I'm a huge Mox fan. I think he did what he did best here, and it showed. And I'm not taking anything away from Takeshita, but Mox is amazing, and he's the reason that I watch AEW regularly. So, of course, that's who I'm going to talk about mostly. Speaking of matches that I really enjoyed, Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black. Now, this is two people that I absolutely love to see wrestle. The steel cage barbed wire match was amazing. And I gave it a 4-star match. I mean, I thought maybe the House of Black was going to turn at one point in time. We broke out. We had all the barbed wire everywhere. We had the return of Gangrel. Full-on Brood reunion if Christian Cage would have came out, which of course he wouldn't because he's in our next match. No, he's in 2 matches from now. I'm looking at my list, sorry. But, yeah, no, it was a great match. I say it's a 4-star match. And the only bad part about it is Adam Copeland got injured, and he's going to be gone for a while. So I kind of wish he would have lost because he got injured. Now, I still think the ending was amazing. I think the ending was perfect. And I don't think you could have wrote a better story for these two after the match. But knowing what we know now, and hindsight's always 20/20, if Copeland would have dropped the belt to Black, there would have been a built-in storyline when he came back. And just at his age, it's kind of sad to see that he went so far in extreme that he did get that bad injury. It's kind of just one of those things where I'm glad we get to see it, but also I'm sad we get to see it. Because Copeland's amazing. He's always been amazing. But we see him injured so much, and it hurts so much because he's such a great competitor. But I did give it a 4-star. I think it was one of my matches of the night. I think it was absolutely crazy and amazing to see. The spots were amazing, and everything about it just rang great. Next up, Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné. Yes, that's right. Mercedes finally got her debut matchup. And she won. Now, I gave this one a 3-star. And I wanted to give it more, but it was really just one of those toss-ups in my head. I was like, is this a 3 or a 4? And I started looking, I was like, ooh, we have a lot of great matches on this card. And while this match was great, and I do think it should have main evented the show, I understand why it didn't. And just seeing Willow Nightingale, I mean, she's amazing. Everything she does, that entrance was amazing. The turn at the end where she lost everybody was amazing. It was a great show. It was a great match. I don't think Mercedes should have won. She just got here. But I understand. You paid all this money to get her here. You want her now on screen as champion. It makes sense. If you're going to spend that much money on someone, you're putting a belt on them right away. So you can't hate it. And I think we all knew going in she was going to win. Even if we didn't really want her to because we wanted a longer Willow reign, we have to accept it. And that's fine. I mean, like I said, it was a great match. Next up, we have Christian Cage versus Swerve Strickland. And this was, of course, for the AEW World Championship. I gave this a 2-star. It kind of got lost in the shuffle. I mean, Copeland and Black, and then Willow and Renee. And next we have AEW versus EVP. This match wasn't living up to the caliber. I love Swerve, and I love this Christian Cage character. But overall, it was just lacking. Especially for it being your world championship. You would think that it would be a bigger match with bigger spots. But, I mean, it was still a great match, don't get me wrong. It just kind of got lost in the shuffle of the night. If you ask me, what happened to AEW Double or Nothing? I'm going to be talking Copeland's injury. I'm going to be talking Monet wins. I'm going to be talking about the main event, which we're about to get to. I might even talk about the Jericho Hook Shibata match. I don't think I ever talk about the Christian Cage and Swerve Strickland match. I mean, we all knew Swerve was going to win. There was no surprises. But it was a good match, so it's at least a 2-star. Now for the main event. Team AEW versus Team EVP. And I loved it. Everything about this match was amazing. I think it was a 4-star match guaranteed. I can't think of any match that was better than what we saw there. I mean, we had Jack Perry hitting Darby Allin with a bus. We saw Tony Khan get attacked backstage. We saw a flamethrower come out. Thumbtacks on the bottom of shoes getting kicked as Darby Allin got hung upside down. We saw someone lit on fire. It was crazy. Like, everything going on. We had the final countdown playing, which was incredible. It felt so cinematic to see them fighting to music. It's something that I wish we could see more often in wrestling. It's just music playing as we see wrestling play out. It was chaotic. It was hectic. It was everything it needed to be. And then some. I do think that in the future, if we're going to do these types of matches, it's going to be hard to upgrade from what we just saw. But it's definitely possible. And that's why I didn't give it 5 stars, is because while this match was incredible, it was a gimmick match. It was one that's going to be hard to follow up. Honestly, the right person won. Jack Perry getting the winning pin was incredible, and he's going to do so much great stuff for him. He honestly should get Cope's belt next. He should be our next TNT champion. Will he be? I don't know. I hope so. I think it makes sense with the character. But at the end of the day, we have to wait and see, and that's perfectly okay with me. Overall, it wasn't a bad show. It was a pretty great show. I just think some of the matches really brought it down. The length brought it down, and just how much it dragged on brought it down. Like I said, the first half of the show, I was just like, can we get this over with? Then the second half, I was excited, watching every moment. I wasn't taking my eyes off it. Even if I was going to get something to eat, I was watching it while I was walking to the kitchen real quick. I just think overall this is a 4-star pay-per-view. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and the only way AEW gets a 5-star pay-per-view is if they can fix this length issue, which is something they've had a lot lately, and something that is a major concern that hopefully they fix soon. But as always, guys, leave your comments below, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe while you're down there. That way you can stay tuned and watch every Wrestling with Kayfabe video as they come out. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.